Hello everyone, my name is Yeva. A few days ago, I started scrolling my archives and I got so nostalgic about that, and I started thinking about situations which happened to me like years ago. That exactly the thing which you think, oh, it's never gonna happen to me, like never. I swear to God, it's never gonna happen to me. But at one point it just happens. And today's video I would like to dedicate to situations which put me in the middle between death and life. Let's start with the hard one, right? This story about the pedophile. Sometimes I really get those goosebumps when I hear that in different countries, not necessarily in my city or my country, those bad guys or women, I don't know, they do that to the children. So one day, a lot of years ago, it was like 8 to 10 years ago, I was hanging out with my friend. We were hanging out in front of my school, and usually how our meeting looked like, we just were walking around our area. After we went to the shop, market, after we just were sitting on the bench and discussing stuff. So one of those days, we had the same plan. We just bought our sweet stuff and we just were sitting on the bench talking, laughing a lot. During the time, I started noticing one very suspicious guy. Like the man, he was around from 38 to 45 years old. He dressed really bad, like almost homeless. And he was really he was looking at us all the time. But he was like 20 meters away. I didn't really pay attention for that because we were laughing, we were kids, and like, oh, ha ha ha, blah blah blah. Over the time again, I saw this guy again. I watching how he was coming to the tree. The tree was like 10 meters from us, 15 meters from us, you know. In this park, in this area near our school, at that moment there were no people, like only us. And this guy, he started jerking off behind the tree while he was looking at us, me and my friend. She also noticed that, and I'm like, what we gonna do? And my friend said that, you know, who is this? Do you know who is this, Yeva? And I'm like, no, I have no idea. And she's like, he is pedophile. And I'm like, I don't know who is pedophile. What does it mean? And she's like, the person who rapes children, Yeva. And I'm like, what the hell? What he's doing here? She's like, Yeva, he's pedophile. We should go away, like right now. We should go away. But yeah, you know, do it like naturally. Pretend we need to go, blah, blah, blah. And we was whispering to each other while he was, you know. And we started going away. And we turned to one way, close to my home. 10 meters later, we turn around and we see him going after us. And he was pretending like he didn't see us, and he was looking for some place, like he was saying hi to people around him. But he was staring at us all the time. For a moment, he stopped for a while. I don't know why. Maybe he knew that we actually knew that he's going to us. So he stopped and we started running. I swear to fucking God, I remember that. My friend realizing that she rubbed her feet, and we started like laughing at it because we was literally like in a horror movie, you know? Pedophile behind us trying to catch us. My friend cannot run because, oh my God, she rubbed her feet. And I don't know what to do, leave her alone. Of course I didn't. So I'm like, come on, take your shoes off and we're gonna run. So she did that. She took her shoes off and we started running. We stopped on the crossroads. Thanks God, there were like 5 different ways to go. And we went to like the closest way to my home. And it would be like impossible to choose the right way because there were like 5 roads. So after we turned, we lost him. and we were sitting in front of my house and realizing the situation. I find out, like, after all, she told me that he was wanted. She actually saw his face in different posters in different places because he already did something to 2 girls or to 1 girl. And after this situation, I started seeing his portrait in front of the magazines, on the buses, everywhere. It was his face, I swear to God. At that period of time, I remember there were like posters, there were like warning, you know. It was saying, don't let your children go out late, please be careful, let them know that there is a car which going slowly when your child alone, and take out of this car like some animal like cat or dog. Some people in this car ask you to help them to catch this animal and give it to them. And after that, they like catching you instead of the animal, and yeah, that's it, you're done. And I was so afraid of this, like for next 4 years, the main fear was fucking pedophiles. I swear to fucking God. And I couldn't go anywhere. I was so scared. I really started being afraid of older people. Trust issues. Next story is hair loss journey, but I'm not gonna tell you about my hair loss journey because I already have this video, so you can just click on this link, I guess this one, so you can actually see the whole story, 30 minutes video of how I lost my hair. Next situation happened to me this year. Let me tell you a little backstory. It all started when I was going to my physical education class. We're supposed to have 5 attendances on that class to have like passing score. After those classes, I really felt like healthier than usual. So I decided that I would like to continue do sports, which was my huge mistake. After I finished my physical education, I started running. Every other day, before classes or after, it depends. I was running in the park around the lake. I was running hard because in my mind it was, oh, I'm so healthy. My body is gonna be skinny, my belly is not gonna be that big. After 5 or 6 running days, I started feeling something wrong. The last 5th or 6th day of running, I couldn't run properly. The bottom of my belly was in pain, like with no reason. It was like covered in stitching pain. That day, I couldn't run at all. And I'm like, okay, maybe I'm too active in my sports. I should make a break. But 3 days later, I realized that I couldn't properly pee. I felt pain while I was peeing. It's not a good thing. It's not even a sign. It's emergency room already. But I'm like, okay, happens to everyone probably. I'm not the only person with this. I started like taking pills, painkillers. A couple of days later, I realizing that the strongest pills, which I usually use for super pain, like during my period, for example, or anything, it's just stopped working. And during this period, I started noticing that I cannot bend. For me, it was a challenge when I take my shoes on. Then I started thinking, oh, something like maybe I became pregnant, or maybe I became fat because my belly was swollen. How I figured out after all, I'm gonna call my family doctor, the main doctor of my life. So I called my mom. I was so scared because I called her too late. Like I understood that it's been a long time. Like I cannot pee, I cannot do this, I cannot do that. I'm gonna die. I'm calling her and I'm thinking, oh my God, she gonna kill me. Before I die, she gonna kill me first. So I called my mom and I started telling her like this and that going on, it's not okay. And my mom said, yeah, okay, let's figure it out. She remembered that, oh, but you live like 10 minutes away from emergency room. Just go there. So I went to shower. I packed my documents and I went to emergency room at 11 p.m. by myself. An hour later, I came to that room with other sick people. It was really excited to see people with different diseases, and I've been through checkup. One of the doctors who did the ultrasound said, oh, he's like, you need to go to get gynecologist because we cannot do anything about it. You just have a lot of liquid here. Okay. 2 a.m. at night, I'm going to gynecologist. I was taken on a wheelchair to different building where gynecologists were staying. And I went there, and I also were waiting because there were some people who also needed help. I got traumatized after that because I've never did that check-up of my vagina ever before. He was putting a lot of stuff in me. He was putting that opener for pregnant women. He was putting, or she was putting, I don't remember, the finger. She was putting that ultrasound, but for vagina. And I was just, okay, happens. Just another day. I don't know those medical names, so I cannot say it properly. So basically what she said was, how I understood it was cyst, but it was broken. And the liquid from what was broken, it just go in different way to your belly. And she said, okay, you need to stay here because it's really dangerous. It's really dangerous, stay here. I stayed there for one night. They already took a blood test after all, and they gave me something. The next day, I feel much more better. She said, for you need to relax, you need to chill, no pressure, no stress, nothing. I was the student, beginning of the semester, it was February. I also having 5 classes from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. So of course I went to my classes. That experience showed that, oh, I'm actually responsible. And I actually can take care of myself, so it was interesting. I'm gonna tell you the story about my grandma and the dog. First grade of school, and one of days my mom couldn't walk me because they were living with us, my grandparents. My grandma said, okay, I'm gonna walk to school. And we went to the same road, we walk all the time. And I remember when you just turn onto that street, I always were seeing the same dog. I never seen the bigger dog in my life than this one was. It was insane big. So the dog usually were staying in the small garden behind the fence, but this time when my grandma was walking me to the dance classes, the gate of the garden was open. So the dog not only barked, and this time she also went out of this garden and started attacking me. She started trying to bite me because my grandma, like, pretty big. She was covered my body, and in this moment while she was covering my body, the dog bite her on her ass, and my grandma went to the hospital. Next 5 years, I'm afraid of dogs as shit. I never see the dog again. Like, never. The last one, the most confusing me because it's about misunderstanding, it's about moral issues, it's about, I don't know. So one time I was going to ice rink. I needed 2 buses. It happens in the first bus. I was sitting in those double chairs in the bus as usual, near the window. It was winter actually because I was wearing hat, I remember. He was pretty unremarkable man, like nothing was special about him, like usual middle-aged family man, I would say so. He was staying, and in the few stops later he sits down next to me. As usual person, sometimes you can just look around the bus and look at people's faces, I don't know, to entertain your eyes, to maybe catch some familiar traits or something like that. And I was doing that. I was looking around, and at the moment my eyes dropped to his phone. The guy actually was watching porn video. I remember that there were 3 girls on this video. One of them was black hair, dark hair. 2 others, I guess, blonde ones. In the certain second, I started watching how he started touching his thing under his pants. Like, I literally can see it. I didn't say anything about it because I was scared. I was so confused. You know that feeling when you're super scared, I don't know, you just feel so weird, so you actually cannot move anything, like you're paralyzed? That's what I felt at that moment. I was paralyzed. A couple of seconds later, I still can see that he actually opened his zipper and I can see his dick. And he's actually jerking off. I turned my head to the window and I was waiting until he finished. I still cannot believe that actually people didn't see anything. And in a few stops, he just got off the bus and went to his stop. And I was like, oh, okay, nothing special. Just usual Saturday. After that, I just got to ice rink. I was waiting with my cousins, so I definitely told them all of the tea. They were shocked as well. I never told all of those situations which happened to me, like with pedophile, with this jerking off guy, all of the other situation with men. I never told to my parents. I remember when I came home after this pedophile thing, and I just said to my mom, like, oh, you know, we just met one really strange guy. He was staring at us. He was like actually coming behind us, like to every way we're going, he was going. And she was like, oh, so maybe he's just, you know, the guy, I don't know, blah blah blah, like nothing special, like, okay, it's another guy, blah blah blah. But I didn't say that, oh, you know, he was jerking out behind the tree while he was looking at us. I couldn't say that. I just felt so ashamed. I don't know why I'm crying, but I had a lot of situations which happened with me and it was related to men all the time. Why I generally could sit near the person who was jerking off in the bus, like me, who was thinking about, I don't know, anything in the world, but not that. How it possibly could happen to me? I was telling this story on my Instagram page like years ago. One of my classmates, he was replying to my story by saying, respect to this bro, he couldn't resist. And I'm like, what was that? I was telling the story, or maybe it's supposed to be funny. I don't know. Now I just let go of all situations. I still can remember them, but I don't feel that pain anymore. I don't feel that shame. I feel like I can tell this story for 100,000 times and I'm gonna actually laugh at them. But also I feel like I got traumatized a lot. Even if I kind of treated those traumas in one way or another, like meeting with new people, new guys, also men, like I don't have like that fear, right? I got a lot of traumas, but definitely I say goodbye to most of them. I only have trust issues, that's it. No fear of pedophiles, but still it's scary. No fear of weirdos. Some good insights about all of the situations. I mean, I definitely became stronger after all. So now I have nothing to be surprised. Is something happening? Okay. So this one is also can happen to me, okay. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If not, it's just not my problem. And you will see me next time, if you want, of course. Do something. I'm not gonna begging you to watch my videos, no. If you want, you're gonna watch each of my videos. each of them. Why I took them off, I have no idea. Thank you so much for watching. You'll see me next time if you want to. And my name is Yeva. Bye bye.